Who's there? How you doing? All right. Let's settle in. Oh, it's time for tea. It's a nice time. How's your morning been? What are you up to over there, wherever you are? Oh, it's been a very productive morning over here. Gosh, you know, do you ever give yourself those moments where, you know how you're progressing with something, you're doing your thing, you're getting on with life, and then remembering to go, wow, you know what? About 3 years ago, I had the idea of getting to this point. And then suddenly, it dawned upon me a few days ago, I was like, I'm at the point that I said in my brain, I said, that's going to be a great point. And whilst at the great point, there's obviously new challenges arise. So, this morning, chatting with a good friend, John, and we got into this conversation about, you know what, we need to celebrate where we're at, wherever you are, whatever you're doing is like, this is a point of celebration. No matter what or where or whatever's going on for you, like into that point of, yeah, you know what? This is what I was working towards, the idea that came about 3 years ago. Or whatever yours is, maybe it was a year ago or 6 months ago or a week ago, you're like, you know what? That. Because once we get to those points of like, oh, now it's actualizing, like, I don't know, you get the, whatever it is, the relationship, the house, the remembering deeply to celebrate, oh, it's arrived. The physical manifestation of the idea is now around. Because I guess if you've bought a house or a car, like, yeah, there's an exciting moment, and then there are things that need doing, like new tires, tax, fueling it all the time, whatever, you know, those things that arise in the present moment after, you know what, back there was this, wow, that's going to be amazing, and it is amazing, yes. Celebrations, celebrating. So, I'm going to start with a little pu'er again, because I'm just a pu'er tea junkie in many ways. I love it. I love the sensations within the physical body that arise, and the history and the depth of this beautiful tea. And then I'm going to tell you a little story about a long road trip in the north of Colombia, to the north of Colombia. So wherever you are, just find your stillness in this moment. Just be with your cup, your bowl, whatever it is that you are about to enjoy. Noticing, being present with it, the sounds, the sensations, mindfully. Yes, you've got a beautiful physical thing with it in front of you. You have this physical bowl, this cup, this teapot, this tea, and this delicious tea beverage that you're about to consume, yes. and the fact of being with it, being present, noticing the textures, the subtleties, the layers within the experience of this moment, like, that's golden. That's just delicious soul food. Yes, the thing, yes, the tea, yes, the physical enjoyment, but what about the depth of subtleties within this moment as well? Ah, yes. Pour it on, like literally pour it on. And if you want to, just feel yourself physically present in your seat or whatever you're doing. Just if you're writing or working and listening to this, and whatever it is you're doing, wherever you are, just notice those things around you too as well. Like being really present to the textures, the smells in the air, the feeling of the keys or the teapot that you're about to pour from, whatever it is. Using this present moment as a practice of mindfulness, of both in the moment, stilling the mind into now, and also having that as like training for a future event, training the mind into here we are present, here are the sensations that are really here. Not the also beautiful creative mind, but that can also be torturous. But here, yes, bringing the mind into the moment. The potential for the creative mind for both beautiful fabrication of thought in the brain that can literally affect the physical body. And one negative example of that would be someone stressed and having a heart attack, because the stress is thought affecting the physical. Flip that on its head into creativity, into wow, yes! Yes, the future event. Yes, the present moment. Yes, all of those things. Like literally, look, I don't even have to think out of a thing. I can just channel my thought, my brain, my energy into that sensation of goodness, of nourishment, of the word that just keeps coming to my mind is yes, yes, celebration. And knowing that just by doing this, just by getting a bit silly almost in this, is that it's affecting my neural pathways and my hormone balance within. And again, to logically go, well, yeah, we understand stress being physically damaging to people, and that is just thought. Here is I don't know, let's go with like the CEO of a massive company getting stressed and they have a heart attack. Terrible, horrible. Sympathy to that when it's happened, if it's ever happened to someone. And that's, we can acknowledge that as like, that's evident. Well, flip it. Oh, wow, look at the potential, the possibilities. The placebo, the organic tea, the good farming, the health and happiness on the mountains, my brain's going into Spanish now, it's kind of funny. El salud de la montaña, la salud de la montaña. Buenísima. Like you can do this with your own brain using the creativity of this thing wherever it is, to do the opposite of stress and cortisol, to do the goodness, the nourishment of whatever it is, dopamine, oxytocin, melatonin. Getting excited, doing the opposite of stress and heart attack, sorry, it's not even funny, but you can see why it is ironic in the mind that we can accept that as a reality, but what about going deep into just make up the creative, beautiful thought in the brain, feel it in the physical body. Whoosh. Let's get psyched about feeling good. Ooh. I was just contemplating there, I said melatonin, and I was thinking, have I said the right word? Melatonin? Melanin, yes, melatonin. yes, so one more of these. And you know what? I was going to wait until I poured a cacao reishi before I told you the story about the trip to Santander in the north of Colombia. But I'll tell you now. So we were planning a trip to go to a cacao farm in Santander in the north of Colombia. And if you've ever thought, had the feeling to go to Colombia, it's like, hear this message. It's beautiful, beautiful people, wild country, fascinating climates, the fruit's incredible, to drink coffee in Colombia, to drink cacao there. So we had this plan to go and visit a cacao farm, and I phoned them up, had a little chat with them, planned it all, we picked the day to go, like a weekend, because it's a long drive, and it's like, well, you'll find out in a second. And so driving out of Bogota, out of the capital, and I think we'd driven like, I don't know, like 8 hours or something, or more, a long way. And Santander's the state, so let's go to the words, I think it's state or region, however you want to say it, municipal. And in there, found a hotel, and I phoned the cacao farm again, but hadn't actually thought how big Santander was, and just thought, oh yeah, let's drive to Santander and go to the cacao farm. Didn't look at the address, or probably I did look at the address, but miscalculated it somehow. Anyway, having driven about 10 or 12 hours north, realised that it was like another 10 or 12 hour drive to where we wanted to go. So I remember making the phone call, like, 'cause I felt really sad and also a bit like bad, because I had such beautiful conversations with this dude at the cacao farm, and they were excited that we were going to go and visit and do a little bit of filming. And anyway, I had to tell him that I wasn't going to make it because it was another like 10 or 12 hour drive from where we already were. But then in the process of it, managed to find an organic cafe farm. And that turned out to be one of the most beautiful experiences, because it wasn't just an organic cafe farm. They'd created a coffee cafe, un museo de café, una finca de café. They'd created a coffee museum. So it's like 30 Celsius or more, like really, really hot, humid. And there's this little pathway, and when I say coffee museum, both in the farm they've got like some of the old machinery, you could see how they've been processing it, but also of the different types of trees. So wandering into this coffee farm, there's like a Brazilian coffee tree, different types of Colombian trees, Ethiopian trees, coffee from other different regions in Africa, Venezuelan trees, different types of Brazilian trees, like these different like leaf sizes, small leaf, big leaf, tall trees, small trees, the green berries, the red berry, Arabica, and whatever the other one is. Just so beautiful and fascinating. Massive, massive spiders. Huge, fascinating, multicoloured spiders, like weird looking things. And as we walked through, there was this one lovely lady who was like guiding us through this tour. And we paid, like, it was really simple, like £5 or something, or $5, I can't remember, nothing crazy. And I remember arriving there, and there's like one of the beautiful old Colombian style farmhouses, like with a courtyard in the middle. And then when we did the tour, we went through some of the machinery. It was after the machinery they showed us. Did a tasting session. I almost put my head into a hornet's nest by accident. If you go to the Enriched blog, so enrichedsuperfoods.com, and then at the bottom of the page there's a link to the blog, you'll see in there there's a picture of a massive coffee bean. There's a video of the experience in there. It's really, it's a cool little video to watch as well. Had it edited properly. And then yeah, going through, doing the tasting session, the notes, some of the non-organic coffees, the moldy beans, the clean beans, the premium beans. And then yeah, and at the back, there was this picking area where they'd got the coffee beans all lined up, drying in the sun. And there was two lovely humans, literally selecting the best beans off this rack of all the coffee beans there. And they were taking some were rotten, some were moldy, some had been eaten by insects. So they were thrown into the bad bucket, and then the premium ones were being picked out. The perfect beans, literally by hand, they were selecting them. Obviously not. I mean, they were more skilled than me going. Ooh. So they could see them and they were like picking them and passing them, and then like in the bucket. Yeah, like ENRICHDTeA.com, and then at the bottom of the page there's a blog. And click on the blog, and then in there, such a cool accidental experience. How we were looking for a cacao farm, but then ended up finding an organic coffee farm and museum in Santander in the north of Colombia. Yeah, very, very, very fun experience. I drink coffee maybe like at the minute. I've probably had, what month is it? May. Maybe 2 coffees this year or 3, and I really enjoy it. Like the taste, the experience, but my body doesn't particularly doesn't enjoy the physical hormonal shift of whatever happens when I drink a coffee. But I do really enjoy it. So yeah, you never know. You go down one path, you look for a cacao farm, and you end up having the most fascinating experience at a organic coffee museum that I didn't even know existed. Like literally, they'd planted all the different types of trees, and the guide was talking through where they came from, what they were, why. There was some of the trees that she was saying were like the price difference in the coffee beans per bag is insane. I don't know the exact numbers, but say like one bag was, I don't know, $50 for 20 kilos. The next one was $1,000 for 20 kilos, and then that like manifests to like $20 a cup somewhere in Japan, or $50 a cup of coffee. Like that blew my mind, the differences, and that'll be to do with like variety, growing conditions, scarcity of bean. Oh, very nice. So, I thought I'd done it, but I haven't brought one. Hang on. Oh, you know what? I can do this. So what I have here is, I actually made this bowl. If you've never done ceramics, I highly recommend it. Maybe not forever, maybe forever, or just for the process of making a few bowls for yourself is lovely, or as gifts. So this is the single source, at the minute it's a Peruvian cacao, organic, so good. You know, I'm going to put in the reishi first. So reishi, just as a mini reminder, is all about immune support, immune modulation, calming in nature, heart opening as well. That's why I call it love reishi. And I'm going to go on this one, I'm going to go about 50-50. Yeah, I'm going to go about, so that's about 50-50, maybe 60-40 cacao reishi, because I'm super dosing reishi at the minute, really working into the heart area, and such a lovely symbiosis between reishi and cacao. And then in the cup already there's just a little bit of Pink Mountain salt. Taking a second to clear the thoughts before I pour and stir, just having that both as the momentary, it's just lovely to feel that, just a quick clearing of mind, but then also to have that as a practice for future life. Wherever you are, just take a moment perhaps just to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Oh, that's nice. And then drinking, just having two hands with the bowl, with the cup, whatever it is, just to be present and be centered with it. Allowing the urge to take a photo of my bowl to disappear. And then allowing the mind to deepen into the placebo of delight. Wow. Oh, that's good. Also realizing quite quickly that this bowl, for whatever reason, when there's a lot of hot liquid in it, stays very hot. So I'm just finding places on the bowl where my fingers get less burnt. Oh, that's nice. For me at the minute, that's a really good ratio, 60-40. So 60% around 60% cacao, 40% reishi. Obviously an estimate, I just use a spoon, but that's nice. Well, I'm going to carry on with a few bits and bobs here, and I wish you a beautiful rest of the day. And I guess the moral of the story today is, if you plan on going to a cacao farm in the north of Colombia, make sure you know the address and you plan the route. And if not, you may end up finding an organic coffee museum. Oh, lovely. Thanks for popping in, you beauties. See you soon.